Hi, everybody. My name is Alex, and today I want to talk to you about positive expected value, or EV betting, with OddsJam. What positive EV betting is placing bets that have a larger chance of winning than what is implied by the sportsbook odds. How we use OddsJam to do that is first, once we log into OddsJam, we look at Tools and we click on Positive EV. Once we do that, all these bets will load here. Let's look at this top one. It's Fred VanVleet under 18.5 player points in today's Chicago Bulls versus Toronto Raptors basketball game. If we click right here where we see this green rectangle, we see that all these different sports books like MGM, FanDuel, WinBet, DraftKings, and so on have their odds for this one player's prop. After all these books are taken into account, OddsJam determined that the no vig odds, or fair odds to us as a sports bettor, is minus 114.49. All that means to us is for us to place a positive EV bet, we need to place a bet with better odds than minus 114.9. But before we can do that, we have to understand what these minus 114 odds mean. So let's take a quick look. Odds with a minus sign. That means that bet is favored to win. The minus sign shows you which team is favored. When you bet on the favorite, you get a worse payout odds on your bet since it's more likely to win. That makes sense. So, for example, the team with a negative number, like minus 110, is the favorite. The number next to the minus sign is the amount you must bet to win $100 in profit. For example, if it's minus 110, you have to bet $110 to win 100. If it's minus 150, those odds are even worse for us as a sports bettor. It's more likely to hit, supposedly, but it's worse for us as a sports bettor. So we would have to bet $150 to win 100. Same with 310. It's more likely to hit according to these sports books, but we'd have to bet $310 just to win 100. Now let's flip it. Odds with a plus sign. That's the underdog. If your favorite team is plus 110 to win a game, that means that they're not favored to win the game. But as a sports bettor, we get a better payout since they're less likely to win. The number, for our example, let's use plus 150. If a team is plus 150, if you bet $100, that's how much you would profit. Same with plus 220. If we bet $100, we win $220. I just wanted to go over this because some people don't quite understand the odds, and it's very, very important when it comes to betting on OddsJam. So we see where it says no vig odds, or the fair odds. We have to beat minus 114. And if we look at all these bets on the under, we see minus 154 on FanDuel, minus 125, minus 120, minus 121, and so on. The best bet in our favor to beat minus 114 is minus 105 on MGM. So we would log into our MGM account. We would go to the Chicago Bulls versus Toronto Raptors, player points. We'd find Fred VanVleet and bet his under at minus 105 odds. We don't want to bet anything higher than minus 114 because that's not a positive EV bet for us. If we can make it to MGM and place that bet before the line moves or closes, then we have an expected 4.21 return on our investment, or ROI. That's a 4.2% edge over the sports book. And look at all these bets on OddsJam that have a positive expected value. Let's do one more together. I'm going to refresh the page. And let's see. We can do Jalen Williams here. The best thing about OddsJam is you don't have to know a lot about basketball or hockey or baseball or football. It does the work for you. And it tells you, hey, this is a profitable bet. In this example, the no vig or fair odds to us as a sports bettor is minus 110. So we have to beat minus 110. We know that we want to go with the under bet because that's the bet that's highlighted in green here. That's what OddsJam tells us to bet on. So better than minus 110 would be 105, once again on MGM. No book has better odds for us than minus 105. So once again, we'd log into our BetMGM account and we'd place a bet on his under at minus 105. And on that bet, we're expected to have a 2.31 edge or return on our investment. Speaking of return on investment, I have a formula here. So we saw that in this left-hand column under percent, that's our edge we have with each bet. Some are 3.5, 1.7, 2.4, and so on. You'll find different ones throughout the day. Let's say, for example, you place 25 positive expected value bets, and your edge or ROI comes out to an average of 3.5%. That's in one day. If you're a stock market trader, you're looking to make about 10% return on your investment in 1 year. We make 3.5% in one day. If we do that every day, that's over 105. That's over 100% return on our investment every single month. Let's say you're a new sports bettor. You put $1,000 in your sportsbook accounts. You bet that $1,000 every day with positive EV bets, and your return on investment comes out to 3.5%. Monthly, that's 105% return on an investment. And over a course of a month, we're expected to make over $1,000 just on betting that $1,000 every day. So our account would double in 1 month. Over a year, you see the numbers, $12,000 just on positive EV bets. One very, very important thing is that as a positive expected value bettor, you need to have multiple sports books. The more sports books you have, the more opportunity you have. Let's look at this, 8.35%. That is a huge expected value. And you're only getting it on Bet Rivers. Look at these. They're all favored. Minus 140 favorite, minus 139, minus 135. Bet Rivers is giving us plus money for the Pat Beverly under 6.5 player points. No other book is doing that. If I don't have Bet Rivers, I can't place that positive EV bet. Just like in these other examples, if I don't have MGM, I can't place that bet. So you need to have multiple sports books. For me, when I first started out positive EV betting, I live in New York State, and I used DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM, and Caesars. I've expanded my market. I'm now on WinBet, Bet Rivers, Fliff, and so on. I have every single book that's legal in my state of New York. But when I first started, I had about $250 in each account. MGM, $250, FanDuel, $250, WinBet, or Caesars, $250, DraftKings, $250. I used those 4 sports books, and I found positive EV bets. I placed them, and over time, I made a lot of money. People do positive EV betting as a full-time job. That's how profitable it can be for you. For me, I'm a teacher, so I don't have a lot of free time. However, throughout the day, I'll go to the OddsJam page, I'll hit refresh, and I'll look for any positive EV bets that I see. Now, see our line that we talked about earlier, it was Pat Beverly under 6.5 points was plus 105. Now it's minus 103. Bet Rivers saw people placing a bet, and they're like, hey, everyone's placing this bet on the under. We must be doing something wrong. So they move the line so it's less favorable for its sports bettors. That's when you know you're getting a good bet. When you can place a bet at minus or at plus 105 and it finishes at minus 103, you know you're doing it right. The last thing I want to talk about is when we place these positive EV bets. I said earlier I'm a teacher. I don't have a lot of free time, but throughout the day, I'll go on and I'll look at our positive expected value page here. There's no time when you know positive EV bets are going to pop up on OddsJam. It could happen at 2 a.m., it could happen at 2 p.m., it could happen at 10 p.m. You never know when the best bets are going to be available. So the more time you can spend doing this, the better you'll do, the more money you can make. It's just about, are you willing and able to put in that work? I hope that this has been helpful to everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will absolutely get back to you or explain things further. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.